Well, hello there. I'm still staying behind on making videos. It's turns out that the reason why I was sick and barely getting any sleep and having the cough was I had a lung infection and bronchitis. I actually went about 4 days without any sleep and began to hallucinate. All nice and grand and wonderful, if you ask me. Not really. But hopefully, I now have everything straightened out. Oop, don't want to show my shoulder off. Hopefully, I have everything straightened out to the point that by the time Reason Rally comes around next week, I shall be fine. So, there's several things I really, really want to rant about. Unfortunately, right now I can only think of one I want to rant about, and I just don't think I can cover it enough in one little video, so I'm probably going to wind up talking about this again later on. I'm getting... Okay, yes, I understand 9/11 was a horrible thing, and starting off like that, I say a lot of people are kind of going, oh, where does he go with this? I'm going with this because I'm getting sick of everyone who looks for symbolism of the Twin Towers in everything and then bitches when they find it. Like with the... Seems like it was McDonald's was releasing a drink about 2 years ago where they had two different drinks, and because sitting side by side, or one was in the foreground, one was in the background slightly, and there was a dragonfly. It was a summertime or springtime thing, and there was a dragonfly there, and they said that represented the plane and the drinks of Twin Towers, to the point that the marketing had to be pulled. Then there was the Starbucks marketing, which was similar to that, which had to be pulled. And then now they're talking about Mad Men, which is a series I've not started watching yet. But they're talking about how with Mad Men, you have the new advertisement of someone falling through time. And they say if you look at it the right way, it looks like he's falling from the building into the road. And I'm thinking, so? But then people are like, but that reminds us of people jumping for their lives. These people... Yes, yeah, people jumped for their lives during 9/11. I was there watching it on TV. Well, I wasn't there. I was just watching it on TV. I was at school. I remember seeing this. But you know what? Not every time I see someone jumping from a building do I go, it must be 9/11 related. I mean, it sickens me. It sickens me, these people who just want to go and it's destroying our country. What it is, it's these, and I didn't think it was a whole lot of people, but the fact that they have so much power and so much pull that they can get advertisements taken away just because they might possibly resemble something, it sickens me. I mean, it's... They say, well, we didn't let the terrorists win. We're so proud to be America. And then they turn around and they go, oh, no, that's symbolism of terrorists. Oh, get it away. You allowed them to win, you idiots. I mean, not everyone out there is an idiot, but the ones who are saying that every little thing... What next? Is there going to be like a Burger King commercial about like a new fry formula, and the fries are going to be somewhat in a. You're going to point out how the fries look like the New York skyline prior. Is it going to get that bad? Or are we going to see just these legions of morons who are terrified of everything and terrified to just let go? That's what it is. It's terrified to let go. And that brings me on to another thing. I guess I can bring this subject up too. Yesterday, school started back. Unfortunately, I missed the first day of school back. I was over at the college today hanging out with some of my friends. I was in the hospital because we thought one of my medicines caused me to have a heart attack. Apparently, it caused me to have a panic attack or anxiety attack. Can't remember which one it was. All I know is I never want to have another one of those fucking things again. But, I missed class. And I went back over there today, and would you believe it? Okay, people are upset. People are upset because the tornadoes that came through here and hit people's homes happened the Friday before spring break. They're upset that even though they got a week off already, that they're not getting another week off. I'm sorry. That doesn't make sense. And the thing is, most of these people are just like me. They weren't affected. They're just wanting to have more time off. I don't want more time off. I'm fine with going back. I want to hurry up and get this done and over with. I don't know where I'm going in my life now because I'm finding out more and more that I'm not as smart as I thought I was because, I'm dumb. I always knew that, but I always thought I was somewhat more intelligent. And, I don't know how I've done on this last psychology test. That's what I just took and turned into her, and I don't know, but getting mad because instead of helping when you could have helped, you went and fucked around, and now you want more time so you can help? Not my fault, not the school's fault. And they're like, well, it's like the normality isn't what people need right now. What people need right now is compassion. No, you fucking moron. Because you had that time, and you wasted that time doing jack shit. Some of these people complaining, I have them on Facebook, and I saw all that they did. They went out the first day, filmed it, took pictures, and then the rest of the time, they went about the rest of their spring break plans. So why are you so eager to get this extra week? Or do you feel guilty that you had the opportunity, but yet you turned it down because it was spring break? That's just the way the dice rolled, people. And if you ask me, it couldn't have rolled any more perfect for such a storm to happen than when people didn't have things that they would have to wind up missing. How nice would that be? I mean, how much... The storm was a big inconvenience. I understand that. A major inconvenience. But doesn't it normally seem like in life when there's a major inconvenience, that major inconvenience is a major inconvenience to happen? Why not allow it to happen at a time when it's not really going to be a major inconvenience? You have a week of no school. You have a week to get all your work done. Hell, there's teachers extending the work return longer due to the storms. So it's not like you've lost a week. You still got just to come back to school. I don't know how many people over at the college are actually affected. I've heard that there was only 5 people over at the college to be affected. I don't know. I don't know how many. I don't know everybody over there personally. To me, that seems like a very low number, seeing that the surrounding counties of where the college is were hit pretty hard. But, to say that it's inhumane to make people go back to some sense of normality, going on saying that, well, they don't have a home now. How's that normal? That's life. You can't go, oh, I don't have a home now. This is how I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I'm going to be homeless and just do nothing. You have to make advances and move forward. And that's where it ties in with the whole September 11th thing. Yes, it was a tragedy. Yes, we lost a lot of people. But it's time to move on, America. We killed the fucker who was in charge of it. Quit complaining about advertisements and things. Move on. As far as I know, after Pearl Harbor, you didn't have people going on around and complaining, oh no, it looks like a Japanese plane in that advertisement. It's a sign that you've let them win. Get that through your heads. You've allowed them to win. They're dead and they've won. They've beaten you. They're dead and they have beaten you. And then we come back to the tornado things. Yes, sad, very sad. And then you got to deal with it more, hearing all the other stories of, well, it was God's will that my house made it. You're a fucking idiot. As a child, I joke around and say for 12 weeks I wanted to be a storm chaser. As a child, it was actually a little bit longer than that. But when I was a child, I loved tornadoes. Loved them. Watched a lot of things about them. Had VHSs on them. Storm chasers and everything. Watched all the movies, Twister, Tornado Valley, all that junk when I was a kid, because they're fascinating. Because they're like all other storms. They're indiscriminate. But unlike all other storms, where most of the time everything's damaged, this is wind. This is wind that still behaves somewhat like wind. So structures can change the course of its movement. And so a lot of people keep in their mind tornado is a solid mass. But it's not really a solid mass. It's just this wind blowing around, sucking things up. It's not a solid mass, but in their heads they think it's a solid mass. So when they see something like a house destroyed in front of a house that was left perfectly standing still, except the curtain was blown, ripped off, they're like, oh, it must have been God. But it wasn't. It's the physics of a tornado. It's the nature of a tornado. And like I was telling people today, for all those who said, oh, we're safe, the Lord saved us, they have to look at the fact that we are a hilly region. We have a lot of mountains. And for these homes that weren't destroyed by the tornadoes, and the mountains across from them were destroyed, the trees were ripped up by their roots, the very roots that have been holding those hills up for my entire lifetime, their entire lifetimes probably, are now gone. So all it's going to take is another really big storm, a lot of rain to come through, and then we're going to have mudslides. And I got a feeling that the county I'm from will pretty much be gone. It's pretty much mud as it was already. And now with these trees gone, I feel that everything's going to be gone. And it's sad. It really is. But, it's these people are bragging in front of people who have lost things. And like one of my friends today mentioned, it makes him sick because he works at Walmart, and he's talks about they walk in, they act like it's a badge of honor that their home was left standing. Yeah, that's great. Be happy that your home was left standing. I'm happy my home was left standing. I'm happy my family's homes were left standing. But it's not a badge of honor. Okay? Still, tragedy happened. And I guess being a godless person, I can see tragedy for tragedy's sake and not, well, I was judging him anyways, and he seemed like a bad fella, and then no wonder a tornado came down and got him. No, that's not how it works. And I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. And and I keep forgetting it's only been a week. Been 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks, and people are getting progressively worse in their attitudes about it. Apparently, instead of actually helping people, they're now complaining. Well, we made it. Where's our assistance? We don't have power. So what? You don't have power. We've lived in the time that I lived here. There was a week that I went without power. I think it was a week. Maybe it's 5 days. We went without power. We used flashlights. We played board games. We had a gas stove. It was hot and muggy and miserable. But people need to understand life goes on, and you got to move on with life. You can't stand still. When you lose a family member, you don't all go diving into the grave with them. Same thing when a natural disaster or man-made disaster or a terrorist attack happens. You don't let it hold up your life. You mourn, you move on. Because the longer you just sit there and you hold on to that, the longer you're not advancing, the longer you're allowing that event to be carried out. And I for one believe that 9/11 has been carried out long enough. The wars, the tears, the everything. For the families that were affected, they have the right to remain sad. For the rest of us who did not have anyone affected, we can have sadness for what happened to our country, and what happened to those people. But to act as if, and again, it comes back down to people who weren't affected by something acting as if they should be treated special because they weren't affected. Just fuck off about things that look like buildings, because buildings, especially the Twin Towers, yeah, I liked how they looked. I thought they were awesome looking, but they were basically 2 fucking twigs sticking up off of mud. If you're driving down the road and you see 2 trees standing too close to each other, then by all means chop them down if it offends you. But realize how stupid you are for doing something like that. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that's stupid. And it's also stupid to sit there and brag about how you made it through a storm that probably didn't even come near you. A lot of people were talking about today, 3.6 miles it stopped away from me. 3.6 miles. Well, I'm looking at like my sister who kind of drove towards the storm, and it wasn't even a quarter of a mile away from her where it stopped. But there's no point in bragging. It was a scary thing, and even her husband's family, they some of them even drove through the storm trying to get there. So it was a scary thing. But the thing we got to keep in mind is, just because I don't want to say because we were spared, because there's nothing there to spare us. It's just how the winds blew. And once we have better understanding of tornadoes and structures, I'm sure they're going to figure out, oh, wow, it does work just like wind. The current right here wasn't as hard as it was over there, and most of the destruction comes from this and that. I still would like to see a tornado in my life, but I don't see it destroy anybody's homes. Maybe a chicken pen or something. But anyways, that's one of the things that's been on my mind for the last couple of days, and then today, this stuff about the tornadoes again, and the fact that there are people who agree that they shouldn't have taken donations from me, and I just feel bad for those people. They said, well, you got to understand, it's his religious belief. Well, his religious belief or not, he shouldn't be put in charge over top of people to take food and water. And just like me, if I was helping out an organization and they said, you have to help out these Christians, I'd help them out. If I had to help out Muslims, I'd help them out. If I'd help out Jews, I'd help them out. Any group of people, I'd help out. But for someone to go, well, against their belief, don't fucking care. It wasn't going to him. It's going to families that needed it. Anyways, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe. I'm going to try to get my HitFlix back up because I'm getting more subscribers over there and people sending me messages. Hey, when are you going to start up the next season? Which would be pretty sad if the seasons over there were only 2 episodes long. I'm going to take opportunity of the tornado and say that his house got destroyed and build a whole new set that makes it easier to film. Yeah. So, later.